Hey guys, welcome to this week's video. Today, we're going to be looking at some of the secret effects inside Reason 11. These are some hidden effects that you might not even know are actually there. But if you find them, you can do some pretty cool stuff. And that's what we're looking at today. So this track that I made today uses nothing but the secret effects in Reason. And you know, it sounds okay without any of the effects on. But when you add the secret effects, just adds that little bit more spice. So let's jump into the tracks and see what I did with the secret effects in Reason. So let's start with this loop. This was the first one that I used, I think. Here we go. This is the effect that I used on this track. Now at this point, you might be thinking, what is going on? That's Kong. That's a drum machine. This is true. This is a drum machine. But if we flip the rack around, you'll notice there's an expand a little bit down here. You'll notice that there's an audio input which goes through the bus effects and the master effects. So that means if we route the audio from the track inside Ableton into the Kong through the audio in, we can utilize all of these bus effects and all of these master effects to affect our sound. So that's what we got here. I've just got a tape echo and a filter. The filter I'm just using a high pass on to get rid of the low end. This is what it sounds like if I bypass both of these effects. So it's just adding a little bit more of a vibe. You might have guessed by now that the secret effects inside Reason are actually inside a lot of the instruments in the rack. So on this track, I tried to use all of the instruments I could to affect my sound. Let's see what I did on the next one. I'm pretty sure this was the next one here. So this is a bit of a percussion loop that I've got going on. This one here I'm using Maelstrom. If you flip the rack around, you'll see that we can go into the shaper and filter A, and then filter B. So what I've actually got going on here is I've got the shaper, it's just using a sine into the filter, and then filter B, I'm using a comb filter with the resonance set so that my frequency was in tune. And in this one I'm also using the mod B control on filter A just to kind of move that around a little bit to create some texture in the filter. So this is what it sounds like with it. This is what it sounds like without it. Quite different. And you'll notice with it, there are those extra kind of like poppy percussive elements inside, which I really liked. And then I'm just using the effects in Kong again for a transient shaper, and again just a high pass filter to get rid of the low end. That's that one. I don't think I did anything for the rest of these drums. They were just filling the track out a little bit. Alright, this one here. I used an audio effect rack inside Ableton and created duplicates of the chain which I panned left and right. So in this one, I'm actually using Radical Piano. This surprised me. I didn't expect Radical Piano to have an audio in, but you can put the audio in and use the resonance, the EQ, the ambience, and the compression. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't necessarily love the result on this one, but I just wanted to use it for the sake of using it. And the general idea is still there. So I kind of just pulled out the high on the EQ here and the low, and did a similar thing with this one here. So you can see them both open. If you look closely at the knobs, they are pretty similar. I think it's just some slight differences in EQ. And then on both of those, I used, again, Kong effects for some general kind of shaping. And then I used the filters on Maelstrom for the same kind of way. So this is what this one here sounds like. Specifically just the affected one on the left. It's pretty quiet. And the one on the right. And that's layered with just a clean, non-affected, dry version of the vocal. So this is the non-affected dry version. So all together. And then if you take it out. So it just adds a little bit of extra noise and texture to the sound. That wasn't supposed to be like a particularly obvious effect. It was just supposed to kind of add a little bit of subtlety to the vibe. I'm not sure if I like that resonance thing. I just was trying to only use the secret effects in Reason. Okay, this one here. And this one here, I have the audio going into complex. I took the audio from the external audio in, routed it to the comb delay, and also routed it to the shaper and the filter, and then just kind of blended it over here. Then I used, again, the filters and stuff on Maelstrom. I've actually really been enjoying using the filters and stuff on Maelstrom. That's probably one of my favorite of these secret effects. I think I'm definitely going to use that one again in the future. And so with it sounds like this. Without it, so what I was using Maelstrom for on this one was to kind of try and get a little bit of a sidechain type vibe. So the waveform that the mod B is using here is a little bit off. A little bit, it's less at the start, and I'm on a quarter note on the right. Alright, the final one. Okay, so when Scenic first got released in Reason 11, I immediately thought that would be an interesting guitar multi-effect, because when you flip Scenic round, you've got effects input for the A and the B channels. And within each of those channels, you've got chorus, phaser, saturation, tone shaper, another delay and another reverb. Or delay and reverb, and another reverb compressor. That's a lot of effects. Now, because I'm only trying to use the secret effects, I didn't route it into a amp model, but I did try it, and routing it into an amp model also has some pretty cool results. So this is what this one sounded like when I recorded the guitar part in using Scenic as a guitar multi-effects unit. saturation might be a little bit harsh. It really probably would sound better running through an amp model, but I think it sounds okay in the context of the mix. So without it, it's just the clean guitar straight into the Apollo. So I actually really like these effects on Scenic. They're probably one of my favorite things about Scenic, and the fact that you can route the effects, route audio into it, is really cool. One of the reasons I think the effects on Scenic in particular are so dope is because none of the other like modulation or saturation effects in Reason behave like the ones in Scenic do. For example, this tone shape is cool because you can control the low and the high frequencies. This saturation control gives you a bunch of other settings that you don't have on really any other effects in Reason that offer saturation. I haven't really messed with the phaser. I don't really like phaser effects in general. The echo, I'm not like overly impressed by the echo here, purely because the echo delay effect, the echo is so good on its own. But then we've got another little reverb here. And then this reverb is pretty cool. This has got a few options here. And then Scenic effects are dope. With the effects on this thing, it kind of functions a little bit like a shaker in the context of the mix, I think. So yeah, that is pretty much all of the secret effects inside of Reason that I'm aware of. There are one or two others that I didn't use, but the ones I did use I think are the most functional. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've known about these secret effects for a long time. I just have never really got around to actually utilizing them in a beat, because I always had other options. However, giving myself the limitation today of only using the secret effects to make a beat actually produced some pretty cool results. And I already knew I thought the Scenic effects would be dope. However, the one that surprised me the most, I think, was Maelstrom. I didn't realize how much I would like just being able to play with those filters inside Maelstrom. That's one that I'll definitely be coming back to and using in the future. I'm not sure if the other ones will be like go-to things for me, but Scenic and Maelstrom, I'm definitely going to be using those again. But that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, did you know about those secret effects inside Reason? And are you going to give them a go now that you know they are there? Also, if you know of any other little secret effects that I didn't talk about, or other devices in Reason that you can route audio through like that, let me know in the comments so we can check those out as well. But yeah, that's the video for this week, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch you next time.